Remember this song? Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. I sit back and remember when it was back in the day. Back in the day. Okay, excuse me. Back in the day. So, what's up? What's up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Okay, as the title says, back in the day. Was having a conversation with my brother. And in the midst of the conversation, it rolled back on me. The lives that we've lived, the things we've done, the people that are still here, the people that we thought were going to still be around that are not, how we used to do things, how we used to support one another. You know, nowadays, you can't say nothing to a person about what their child does. But when we were growing up, and now I'm 55 years old, when we were growing up, it was commonplace, common practice. If one of my mama or daddy's friends seen me somewhere that I had no business being, it was nothing. Robert Allen, yeah, what you doing over here? Well, I was with nah, you ain't supposed to be over here with your friend, nobody. Whoever your friend is getting ready to get you in trouble. Get in this car. Come on. Let's go on to that again. Get you back over by your house. Because you know you ain't got no business being down here. You know, they wasn't no, well, hey, if you wouldn't mind. No, wasn't none of that. It was, boy, get in this car. And they usually, a lot of times, would use some very lovely, colorful words. Get your black in this car. And it wasn't no talking back, talking about, you ain't my mama, you ain't my daddy. I ain't got to do what you. They had, back then when I was growing up, it was a unspoken law of the land. If you catch mine doing something they got no business doing, or somewhere that they not supposed to be, and they not listening, light them up. And let me know that you lit them up so I can light them up when I get home. It was just a rule. It was just, that was how it was. You wasn't going nowhere and trying to be slick and think that you going to get away with something. No, just because your mama didn't see you, your daddy didn't see you, your auntie, your uncle, or cousin, there's always somebody. And see, back when we was growing up, it wasn't called snitching. It was called tattletaling. And it wasn't even really that. When grown folks seen you doing something they knew you had no business doing, it was called discipline. It was called keeping you in check. It was called saving your life. Because a lot of times, man, we would do some stupid stuff. And one of the dumbest things we did growing up here in Jeff City was ride down in the creek. And we kids, not thinking, okay, when you riding and your wheels go through that water, there's a line that water hits you in the back and goes up over your head because the wheel is spinning. So when you get done riding in the creek and you get home, you get off your bike and gone in the house, because you done snuck down to the creek and you just doing your thing, you thinking, I done got away with something. And your mama say, what's that on your back? You be like, huh? What's that on your back? Oh, nothing. Yeah, why is there a straight line down the center of your back? What you been doing? Nothing. I was just riding my bike. Where was you riding your bike at? The end of the conversation was you getting a whooping because she knew where you was. A lot of times for us growing up, the places we went told on us. Didn't nobody have to see us. Just how we came home and our appearance. Those are the fond memories that I have. I also have the memories of waking up, different mornings and finding out that people that I had seen the day before were gone. Man, I remember waking up one morning and hearing about Elaine Driver passing away, and another time Keith and Ramon, different people that I grew up with, that were younger than me, that were older than me, that were my same age, I can remember, and it was so weird, Sean Covington. This is when they used to have a little club out going towards the lake. Me and my brother had actually literally got into it that morning, and he had to take me to the ER because I got my lip busted. I had to get stitches. And afterwards, instead of us just going straight back to the house, we went out there. And anybody was in there that night. We was laughing, having a good time. Everything was wonderful. And I saw him and spoke to him and everything. And then next morning I woke up and he was gone. That's why I say, I understand a lot of times we have family and friends that upset us, hurt us, disappoint us. Sometimes they lie, steal, whatever it is. You know, I'm not, dismissing their actions at all. Not one bit. Wrong is wrong, and if you're wrong all day long. Ain't no cleaning it up. But this life that we have is so fleeting, and it is so precious, and it's so limited in the amount of time we really have on this earth. If at all possible, man, make some type of peace with those people. I can remember growing up, and when people got into it or had a disagreement, I can remember us, people getting into a fist fight, and we fighting, we scrapping, but at the end of the fight, when both of us sitting there looking stupid and hurt, we'd look at each other and be like, why was we fighting? Or we'd be like, man, come on here, let's go get cleaned up and go. Now somebody can just offend you, say something you disagree with, and you will totally write that person off for the rest of their life. Even if you find out later on that what they said was absolutely true, but because you disagreed with it and it offended you because you were mad because, okay, you my friend, you supposed to think how I think, you wrote them off. We used to not do that, but we do it now. A big one for me, church. I can remember if you didn't make it to church a couple Sundays, people were coming to look for you, calling, checking on you, getting on your nerves. I remember how churches, when they would have church events, anniversaries, whatever the case may be, a choir day, a deacon's day, a deaconess's day, whatever day, the churches would be packed with people from every church that was in that community, and they would be there supporting that church. Now, if it don't benefit you, if you not on program or whatever the case is, you don't go support each other. Well, I don't really particularly like that pastor. That pastor act. So what? It ain't about him. It's about community. But we don't do that anymore. And I was just watching In the Heat of the Night, and there was a day and a time that black folks and white folks didn't get along. But there are a lot of the white folks that felt that way because that's all they knew, that's all they had been taught, that's all that had been poured into them. Grew, got older, and realized that all the stuff they had been told and things had been said, they realized it was wrong. That alone tells you that most of the people out here that think that black people are a certain way and white people are a certain way, those are the people that do not take the time to really look into people. They just believe what they hear and they just embrace it. I remember, like, back in the day, yeah, it was hard, but black folks did something then that they don't do anymore. Y'all used to stick together. Y'all knew somebody's lights was getting ready to get shut off. Y'all tried to help them out. But here's the thing with that. You weren't trying to get over on nobody either. Nowadays, people will, they will have what they need to take care of themselves, but will play like they don't have it so they can get more or get extra. Not realizing that a lot of times, hey, you do what you can do, and then when you can't do no more, God will open a door and put it on somebody's heart to help you with what you want. Sometimes it's what you want, sometimes it's what you need, and sometimes it's both. But man, back in the day, we used to be so much stronger together, and we knew we were stronger together. Nowadays, it's not like that. Nowadays, it's everybody for themselves, and you hear people talk about, I got to get this bag, I got to get this bag, I got to get this bag. The bag is not gonna make really. You think the bag gonna make you happy, but the bag is not gonna make you happy. It's not. We've got to learn to be there for one another more than we've ever been before, because times are getting worse instead of better, and we go through these cycles. Things start looking up, things get better, we get really complacent and really relaxed, and then we get shook again. This is another shaking because we got so complacent for 8 years. We thought things were just going to be just wonderful. So lo and behold, we got what we got, and we're going through what we're going through. And instead of those things causing us to grow closer together, they cause us to grow further apart. I'm going to end, but I'm going to say this too. This is for anybody that, just anybody. There's a reason why there's a saying talking about be careful of wolves in sheep's clothing. Everybody that say they know God, everybody that says that they've accepted God, everybody says that they are divinely guided by God, is not guided by God. God is not in their stuff. Just because it looks holy, don't mean that it's holy. Just because it acts like it's anointed, does not mean that it is anointed by God. And I'm going to say this. I've watched some of the stuff going on with Kanye West. I'm sure some people are going to see this, going to be a little, be like a little mad or whatever. Get over it. There's a scripture that says, judge the fruit by the fruit, or judge it by the Spirit. If God is leading you to do the things that you're doing, by all means, I ain't mad at you. Get your paper. But at the same time, if God did not embrace certain things and certain people because He saw who they truly were, what was truly in their hearts, you should mirror that. There are people that are mega pastors. There are people that are in political positions that do not care anything about the average person. Not at all. My biggest prayer is this: whether you support this current president or not, don't just listen to what people say. Sometimes you have to listen to what they're not saying. Sometimes you have to pay attention to see what it is that they're not doing. I can tell you I'm doing a whole lot of stuff, but in reality, I'm actually not doing any of the things that I said I was going to do or said I am doing. I could tell you, hey, every day I get up and I leave my house and I go run around and go places all the time. You don't know whether I really do it or not, but I can say it. But now, if I say I'm out here, there, and everywhere, and every time you go to those places, you see me, then yeah, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm doing things. Stop being so easily convinced and fooled by appearances. Just like there's fool's gold that looks like gold, but it has no value whatsoever, there are people out here that are going to give you the appearance of what you've been conditioned and told looks like God, looks like holy, looks like good, looks like decent, looks like nice guy. And they are some of the wickedest people in the world. Do your due diligence. Pay attention. Learn and have a relationship with God yourself, so when someone says that they are following Christ, you know what God looks like. You know what Christ looks like. So when you look at them, you will see what you know to be God, because you really have a real relationship with them. Not something somebody told you, or not something that you've been conditioned to believe that this is what God is. Open your eyes, people. Pay attention. Some of the things that are back in the day still apply today. They will give you exactly what you need to get you through this period in time that we are in. Mahala, y'all. Peace.